Weekdays with Bernie segment tonight, how the anti-Trump media is reporting and analyzing the Syrian military action. Joining us from Miami, the purveyor, Goldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. So I haven't seen anything. I mean, we used a clip last night where a refugee in Syria was talking about how he loves Trump. And it was on one of the anti-Trump networks. That was pretty amusing. But otherwise, I think they've played it down the line, reported what's happening without any snarkiness or much snarkiness.
Even more than that. I mean, even Donald Trump's usual critics got plenty of airtime to say that they supported what he did in Syria. For what it's worth, if anybody cares, I support what he did in Syria. But it's important, I think, to point out that if you question what he did and if you point out the inconsistencies of what he did, that is not Trump bashing, despite what his fans think. That's called legitimate journalism.
All right, but there are two issues here. The one is it's hard to criticize a president, whoever the president may be, if they're trying to stop babies from being gassed. I mean, that's a pretty tough. Now, we had the libertarians on.
It's impossissable.
No.
It's impossible.
The libertarians, basically, their philosophy is we just don't intervene anywhere. And they've been with us since 1776. And the other question, though, is if you're going to criticize a president for what he said when he was a private citizen, that's not a valid criticism because things change when you're the commander-in-chief. It's a lot easier to bloviate on a show like this, okay, and say this is my opinion, that's my opinion. But then when you're in a position, an elected position where you have all kinds of intel and all kinds of things that you don't have as a private citizen, things change.
Not buying it. Not buying it.
You should.
The difference, all right, let me try to convince you. Well, I know I won't, but let me try.
All right.
The difference between Citizen Trump and President Trump was enormous. In 2013, when Bashar al-Assad launched his first major poison gas attack on his own people, Donald Trump was repeatedly and vehemently against any action against Syria. That's when Barack Obama was president. What changed? Let's see. It was a crime against humanity in 2013. It was a crime against humanity a week or so ago.
Okay. Now let me reply to that analysis. From my reading of the tweets, and you're basing that on your tweet stuff?
Yeah.
Is that what you? Okay. So it's a tweet thing. It's not a paper or anything like that. His essential point was we messed up Iraq. We shouldn't have gotten in there. As bad as Saddam Hussein was, and Saddam was a war criminal, we removed him, and the vacuum cost us blood and treasure beyond belief. That was the essential philosophy here toward his view of Syria. But now...
What changed? What changed?
Here's what changed. Now he has the power to save the babies. He didn't have the power then. So I think that
Bill.
No. I think you think a little bit deeper about it when you have the power to stop an atrocity as opposed to when you don't. Go.
Let me make clear. I am glad he was moved by those images and did what he did. I am thrilled that he did what he did. But here's legitimate commentary also, and not Trump bashing. This is an impulsive man. That's why he tweets the way he does. That's why he responds to criticism the way he does. Now he's president, not Citizen Trump. He watches television, he sees images, and he wants to do something about it. I am thrilled that he did. But acting impulsively while satisfying is not a substitute for well-thought-out foreign policy.
Well,
we don't know what that foreign policy is.
I think you're being a bit unfair here. It is clear that Donald Trump conferred with his Secretary of Defense and the Pentagon people and the military people. It's clear that happened.
I'm sure he did.
Right? And they weighed in with their opinion that we can do X and Y, and this is likely to happen if we do. That's not impulse. That's policy.
Bill. He's sitting at home with his Twitter account in 2013.
He hasn't tweeted much this last few weeks.
Well, wait a second. In 2013, he sees this horrible, horrible crime against humanity.
He's a private citizen.
Poison gas against civilians.
All right. I got that.
Instead of saying to Barack Obama, you need to stop it, he doesn't do that. Fine with me. but then when he's president, he feels he needs to stop it.
Yeah.
Come on, Bill.
You got a personal responsibility to stop it.
There's no law that says he has to be consistent.
Right.
There's no law that says he can't change his mind. But it is a night and day between the old Donald Trump and the new Donald Trump, and not much changed in between.
The criticism, I don't think, is valid from a private citizen to a commander-in-chief. When you're a person who can stop war crimes, okay, you can do it. You can stop it. It's a whole different ballgame than somebody bloviating and being a theorist who can't do anything.
Right, and when you're a private citizen, you can recommend that the person who does have power stop it, and he didn't do that.
Bernie Goldberg, everybody.